Today on Cooking Crave, we're going to show you how easy it is to make a French dip sandwich and a pistachio salad. That's all coming up next on our show. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne.
And welcome to today's Cooking Crave, sponsored by the Workshop of Dickinson. So we got a easy sandwich recipe and a pistachio pudding salad.
Right, really easy. We had this French dip roast recipe submitted by Terry Anner.
Okay.
And it's really easy. It makes a wonderful French dip sandwich. And what I did was you can take a 2 to 3 pound roast and put it in your crock pot, so you can put it in the morning before you go to work. You're going to add 1 packet of Zesty Italian seasoning.
Okay.
And 1 pack of au jus seasoning also. And then you're going to take, it says 1 1/2 cups beef broth. And again, I just used 1 1/2 cups water and added some of my own beef base to it.
Okay.
And 1 1/2 cups water. That's the sum of that recipe. So you put it in your crock pot, put it on low all day. In fact, I had put the roast in frozen.
Okay.
And when I put it in the morning before I go to work, when I come home at a little after 5, it's just perfect. So we're going to take that out and show you how easy that is. So,
okay.
And what we're going to do, we're just going to take this roast out here. And what's really nice, because you have all that seasoning in there, your au jus sauce, and as Zesty Italian, you're going to already have your juice to dip your au jus sauce to dip your sandwich in.
Perfect.
So that's going to be great. Well, that's just cooling just a little bit. We're going to take a couple of hoagie buns, and we're going to just cut them in half, and we're going to butter them lightly, and then we're going to put some Swiss cheese on them and put them back. We're going to put it in the oven and just melt that Swiss cheese before we put on the our roast.
Well, that's a nice twist to a French dip sandwich.
Makes it really, really good. And there, you know, if somebody doesn't like Swiss cheese, hey, you don't have to put that on. But we'll just butter that real lightly here. And I've just got the oven heated, and we're going to just put a couple of slices of.
Now, this isn't something that you broil, being we're putting this into toast and to melt the.
We just want the cheese melted.
Okay.
So then while that cheese is melting, we're going to tear our roast apart. In fact, you know, I like the idea, I think your meat is always more tender pulling it apart than actually cutting it.
I think so too. I know when you always made roast, I was always nipping at the crock pot with a fork before you cut it. And then I always think that's much better.
Yes, it works well. Because, you know, if you cut a meat against the grain, even though it's nice and done and tender, it makes it tougher for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure. Now, and I just took a rump roast. You know, a rump roast is pretty lean. And so we're going to just separate that.
I think it stays juicier, too, when you pull it apart.
You know, even ham. When do a ham, not a teardrop ham, but a bone-in ham, and you just bake that and pull that apart. I don't know why it tastes better. You know, it's the same meat, but it does. So you're going to be able to get quite a few sandwiches just with this. And like I said, this was not quite a 3 pound. You can use 2 to 3 pounds, just whatever. But you can use that again then for even a cold sandwich, or, you know, something other than just your French dip, because you do have a lot of it here. So we'll just set that aside there. And while we're waiting for the cheese to melt, which we'll have to kind of watch closely, we're going to make a pistachio pudding salad.
Okay.
I'm going to start with a little bit bigger bowl, and so we can get that mixed. Start with a can of crushed pineapple.
And do you use juice and all on that?
You use the whole thing in there. And then 1 box of your Jello pistachio pudding mix, the smaller box.
This is a very festive color salad too, so when you get around the holidays, it's really a nice
Yeah.
color on the table just to add.
It's an easy salad to, you know, you mix it up quickly. It's quite easy, and it's easy to take with, you know, if you're going to a potluck or whatever. Just mix that in there. And we're going to add a carton of Cool Whip.
And again, you probably could make this a lighter version too by using like a lighter Cool Whip. Do they have a light pistachio pudding, or is it generally just the one pistachio?
You know, in the puddings, you do have the sugar-free pudding mixes also, but I've not seen it in the pistachio pudding one.
I believe I've seen it
And,
either, yeah.
So you just stir that well. And add, I like walnuts in mine, and if you know you don't like nuts, you don't have to, but I added about a half a cup of chopped walnuts.
Okay.
And then we're going to take some marshmallows. And I think, you know, even adding your colored marshmallows would be a little different zest to that, you know, a little added color. And it's going to ask for about a cup of marshmallows, or just whatever. I just take my hand and put in what I think. Nobody's going to count them.
Except maybe the grandchildren, when one gets 5 marshmallows and the other one only gets 4.
Yeah, that right. It's kind of like when we grew up, we all had to have the same size.
Yes.
You know, and that's a good saying, is where, you know, you have a piece of brownie or whatever, you cut, I get the first choice. So then you know it's going to be cut evenly. So like I said, I like to mix it in a little bit bigger bowl. And then I can add it into a nice serving bowl. But just look at how fast that is. And, you know, it sets up quickly, and, you know, in no time you can serve that.
So does this have to set in the refrigerator for a half hour or any specific amount of time before you do serve it?
It doesn't have, it's good just to chill it a little bit more, but, you know, our Cool Whip was cold and that, but yeah, you can put it back into the fridge, and there you are.
All right, sounds great.
So, you know, that's easy there. Now let's just check to see if our Swiss cheese is melted on our hoagie bun. Okay, that is starting to melt. And that's all you need to do is just warm that up. And we'll put that on here. Okay, my mitt out of it. Now let's just put some roast on top of that. And of course, you know, you can always buy your deli roast beef, but this is just a lot cheaper. It goes a lot further. And the flavoring of this with that zesty Italian seasoning in there, it really gives it a good flavor. And you don't even need any other seasoning. It doesn't, you don't even have to ask for, you know, put salt in or whatever. Your, you know, beef base already has some salt in it and that. So we can just, let's add just a little bit more on there and make it a really hearty sandwich there. So
That zesty Italian is great in if you're going to do a pork roast as well.
Oh, yes.
You know, for a pulled pork sandwich,
yes.
Zesty Italian, it's a lot of good recipes you could use with that.
Just take that off there. And those buns are just nice and warm.
And they're even toasted a little bit, you know, on the outside a little bit.
Right.
Not
So we'll just set that
little
over
crunchy.
here. And you can just take your knife and just kind of cut it across at an angle, so that when you dip your sandwich in, you have a nice corner to start with. There we go. And we're going to take some of our juice sauce here, in here, just to dip our sandwiches in, and that. So, you know, here you already got that mixed up. And you know, you just put that on a plate. I almost had my other plates come down on me. Okay. Couple of sandwiches there, and add a little bit of a salad. And your au jus sauce, and how much quicker was that?
Incredibly quick, and you know, again, like you said, if you start in the morning putting your roast in your crock pot, it's doing the work for you all day. You come home and a little bit of prep time with, you know, the buttering the buns and stuff, melting the cheese, and
there you go. And you come home and you just smell that roast cooking already, that aroma, and with the seasonings in there, it just makes you really hungry.
It does.
Yeah.
Awesome quick meal, and good anytime. And again, like you said, this would serve a lot.
Yes, you'd have quite a bit there, and you know, let's say you can use other things. You know, you use it for, you know, cold sandwiches, or, I mean, there's a lot of things you can decide that you would like to use.
I would think that this would be great to put in like a bigger roasting pan, and if you're hosting, say, a party for Super Bowl or, you know, something like that, this would be an awesome sandwich. Take as much as you want.
Yeah,
and
put it on, and absolutely. And you can easily put this back into the crock pot, and to keep that warm.
Keep it juicy.
And that and stuff, and having your au jus sauce and your buns and stuff. And like I said, that Swiss cheese is just a nice added touch.
It is. Sounds great.
Whatever, so.
And to get this recipe for the French dip sandwich submitted by Terry Anner here of Dickinson, please go to Consolidated's website, www.ctctel.com, and please submit your recipes for us to cook for you on our next show. Thank you so much and have a great day.